안녕하세요. 미국주식으로 온 대학의 미준입니다. 1월 18일 토요일 미준 특집 방송을 시작합니다. 오늘도 변함없이 미국 주식 투자의 정석을 지키고 있는 미준에 오신 것을 환영합니다. 오늘은 아주 특별한 게스트께서 미준 채널을 방문해 주셨습니다. 여러분들 잘 알고 계신 것처럼 작년 말부터요. 제가 시킹알파 외에도 다양한 주식 관련 플랫폼과 적극적으로 협업을 구축해 오고 있는데요. 그 중에서도 전 세계 최대 규모를 자랑하는 웹사이트 하나가 있습니다. 바로 전 세계 총 44가지의 언어로 주식 투자 정보를 제공하고 있는 인베스팅닷컴인데요. 그동안 정말 많은 구독자분들께서 인베스팅 프로 멤버십에 가입을 해주신 덕분에 미주은 채널이요. 인베스팅닷컴의 VIP 고객이 될 수 있었습니다. 그 결과 오늘은 인베스팅닷컴 본사의 임원분께서 직접 미주은 채널을 찾아주셨습니다. 인베스팅닷컴에서 마케팅 부사장을 맡고 계신 아사프님을 소개합니다. Hi Asaf, how are you?
I'm good, Charles. Thanks for having me here.
I understand you were previously with the Seeking Alpha. What a small world.
It is
Um,
it is a small world, and I'm happy to work together again in different scenario.
could you please provide a brief introduction about yourself?
Yeah. Hi everyone. My name is Asaf. I've been leading marketing teams in Tel Aviv in like the Israeli startup scene for the past 10 years. I started in B2B and stuff that I don't really like to do, and evolved into business to consumer, business B2C. I Many years ago in the academy, I started economics, and I love investing in stocks. So working in investing kind of is like a dream come true for me, where I sell subscriptions, which is something that I'm uh, pretty good at and I like doing. And investing, helping people build wealth and become financially independent. This is something I strongly believe in. So it's really fun to work at something that you're also really passionate about.
Great. It's our honor to have you in our channel. Welcome to Mijun. Now, let us discuss investing.com, one of the world's largest platforms for stock investing information and analysis tools. I would like to start with a ProPix AI discussion. I have been a member of Investing Pro since last September. As a member of Investing Pro for several months, I have come to appreciate the unique value of the proposition of ProPix AI. And I'm particularly interested in understanding what sets ProPix AI apart from its competitors. Could you elaborate on the distinguishing features and competitive advantage of ProPix? I'm very sure you are the right person because you understand ProPix and also you can compare with Seeking Alpha, for example.
Right. And I also have to sell it, so I better know how to explain it. Um, so let's start with what is ProPix AI. In simple words, it's your AI powered stock picker that helps you find exciting trading opportunities every month and helps you to beat the market. There are two main ways to use it. We'll get to that in a little bit later. I'll kind of dive deep into what it is, and how what's the unfair advantage here. Um, it's I would say it's the brainchild of our VP of products, which is Andy Pye. He is like on a personal 10-year journey of building a robot analyst, and investing.com bought his company to be kind of the engine for our stock ideas venture. Um, and I think if you look at Andy's decade-long search for this thing, um, he kind of came in the right time, because we have this massive sea change, this transformative technology in AI computing powers in the last few years. And this enables better and faster research, and ultimately creating trading ideas that are beyond human potential. And once you have that capability, the real challenge here is the data quality, which is a key strength of investing.com. It's a well-established brand and has been sitting on tremendous qualitative data and quantitative data for many years. And when you combine those, we have ProPix AI, which is trying to answer kind of the basic years-old investing question. Is this a good stock to buy? And is it now a good time to buy this specific stocks? So the models that we have are trained on 25 years worth of data. It kind of gives it an unfair advantage. It is, as I said, it's not only how big the data is and what's the quality, but it's also very diverse. So this is something that we learned that makes it even better. And then if you know to ask the right question, what makes a good stock pick, you'll get good performance. And in addition, we're using newer technologies such as embedding and deep learning because they're really good at solving our specific problems. And especially they give better explanation of why the model makes this decision. And once you understand why the model does something, you can always improve it. And all of this together brings us a probability distribution model for the outcomes of each stock. You can think about it, the probability of will we use an umbrella tomorrow against rain, right? So while it's not 100% accurate, it's a good, you prefer to have it in your arsenal to know whether or not you should have an umbrella tomorrow. And you will succeed more than not if you have a good model for that. And we then take these predictions through multiple validation layers, such as backtesting with companies that the models have never seen. We do risk analysis, we do correlation checks. And the results of all of this together is ProPix AI. We went live just over a year ago, and now we're selling the actual model and the real results, which have been really good, not just the backtest, because backtests tend to be good. And then when you put it into real life, that's when the magic happens or not happens. And we're happy to have had this amazing year up until now.
Great. Thank you. You just mentioned that ProPix AI has been operational for a year. So would you be able to share its performance results so far? Has it met or exceeded your strategic expectations?
Yeah, that's a great question. Share my screen and I
Sure.
prefer to show and not tell. So let's go into ProPix here. This is inbeStingPro. You can see the logo here, and I'm in ProPix AI, in which I'm a huge believer in technology stocks, which is why Tech Titans is the one that I follow the most. I'll go in and kind of show you. So right here, we're looking at 10 years, which includes the backtest. But if I filter only for 1 year, so all of this has been live, right, from
Yep.
January before, and you can see that in the past year, we more than doubled the S&P 500 in Tech Titans. And you can see here kind of the month by month performance. So we had a terrific February, great November. But if you look at month by month, you will see that it's pretty good at beating the benchmark every month. You can also kind of pull it a little bit more. And here we have also January in 2025, right? But also a little bit before, we launched it around here in November of 23. So you have just over 15 months worth of traffic, and in which we basically doubled the benchmark in Tech Titan. So I think that has been really successful. But the thing about ProPix is there are multiple strategies, and we can look at others. So another interesting one, there's value stocks. Again, things that I personally invest in. We look at the past year. Again, broadly speaking, exactly doubling. And last, again, if you want to look at like best of Buffett, if you're a big Buffett fan, obviously it's a big name. So here we have like a legendary investor who is, required to share his portfolio every quarter with the 13F, and we cherry pick on top of this. And again, the broadly speaking, doubling the benchmark of those things. I think it overall has been a success. Keep in mind that we recommend 15 to 20 stocks as opposed to the broader S&P, which is 500 stocks, or some of the derivatives is also hundreds of stocks. So it's also more manageable if you are interested in adding kind of personal stocks to your trading philosophy or to your investing philosophy. And I think that has been broadly speaking, something that has been well received. We have only done it for the US stocks for now, but that is about to change soon.
Sure. Yeah, I have to admit that considering that this portfolio is including 15 to 20 stocks, the performance, especially for the first one, Titan, the 45% for 1 year is quite impressive. Could you elaborate on the stock selection process? What kind of AI model or algorithm are employed? Could you explain that one?
Yeah, so this goes back to kind of what I said before, the algorithm, the way we structure it, the data we employ, the kind of methods, and the regressions that we run, correlation risk analysis, all these things comprise like one bigger algorithm that takes these things into account. And then it compares on a monthly basis from its available stocks. So some of it is by sector, some of it is by geographical design. And this is why, for example, one stock that was in Tech Titans and in the rebalancing, we saw other stocks that were better, but it could still reside on, I don't know, the S&P portfolio or on Warren Buffett's portfolio, just because the stocks, like the alternative stocks that you could invest in, they play a big role in which goes into the 15 stocks list and which stay out. So for some strategy, one stock could make the cut and be inside, whereas in another strategy, we may find 15 better stocks to invest in right now, based on the time horizon of ProPix. I do want to say one thing. ProPix comes with the portfolio itself has multiple stocks coming in and out every month, could be anywhere between 5 and 10 and replacing 10 stocks every month. Some investors, it could be a lot for them. For myself personally, it is a lot. And then you can use it also differently as an idea generator where you find interesting stocks and then you do your own research on it. In any ways, everything we do is not like personal investing advice, but kind of general algorithm attributions, and the best one per each strategies go into the rebalance that is happening once a month.
I think rebalancing once a month is quite frequent, I have to say. So, to what extent is Propix AI autonomous in its decision-making process? For example, Tesla FSD is a currently level 2 system. What about Propix AI? It's level 2, level 3. Is there any human oversight or intervention required?
So yes, there are human involved, but maybe not in the way you mentioned. Humans do improve the system all the time, but it must remain clean or free of bias if we want to beat the market. So, for example, we have the company Investing.com licenses over $4 million of data annually, and across our various infra system, we invest another 4 million in computing resources, and we also then invest hundreds of man hours every month into QA processes and are constantly refining our machine learning models. So all of this is driven by humans and the quality that we put into the quality of the data that goes into the system. But in the end, the model gives us the stocks that it prefers and also how confident, like the confidence level of the algorithm. And when we combine the two, this is where we do it. This is pretty free of human intervention just because we want to avoid further bias beyond building it. And there's some bias into building any system. That's a given. But once the model is up, we don't moderate it and kind of override it.
Would you be able to say how many percent is AI's role involvement and how many percent in human side, roughly?
Yeah, so when we get the actual results, that's 100% AI,
Uh-huh.
100%. But the system, building the system that gives this recommendation, that's obviously has
I
a
see.
lot of humans working on it to make sure we get the best data. improve the algorithms, that the machine keeps learning. That's where the human brain power goes into.
I see. So the stock selection itself is 100% done by AI then.
Correct. We don't curate it. There's some other companies that put humans also to curate and kind of have a balancing effect. I think that's legit. I'm not saying which is better. I'm just saying like for the thing that we do, we have an algorithm. We have also the confidence level of the algorithm, which is really good for us to understand so we can improve it. But then we trust the system, trust the process, and went live with it, and you can see the results. As for the frequency of trading, again, everything in investing has to align with your personal investing theme or investing strategy, and that's true for most things in life, but certainly in investing. For me, it's a little bit too frequent, but we have almost 200,000 paying members, and many of them like it and use it as is.
I mean, you just mentioned that there's no curation for stock selection, and I would say that's really amazing because even without any human involvement, the first year the performance was 45%, over 45%. And we know AI is usually gradually improving as time goes because it will have better data and more experience. So it will learn itself over by time, and the maybe performance will improve in the future. Because as a investor myself, I could see that my experience is most valuable asset as an investor. And AI will have a more information and experience as time goes. And if there's no curation, I'm sure the performance will remain or even go better in the future.
Just on this, I really like what you said, and I think I wanted two things. There is some initial curation in just which are the strategies, meaning what's the growth stocks, tech stocks, Warren Buffett stocks. That's human driven, meaning we kind of set the strategies. So you could say there is some curation in the guidelines that we put on which sectors, which stocks to look at. And I think, again, there's the understanding and the knowledge of people that also goes into the algorithm itself, which is, again, at the end of the day, it gives us a stock, but the entire process was obviously designed and programmed by humans with, as you mentioned, with the aim to improve over time as well. So not only do we start strong, ideally this also improves over time. One disclaimer that I have to say, 2024 was a really good year for tech stocks and for other growth stocks. We haven't really encountered what the model is doing in real time in really bad years. It could be that this will change. Hopefully not, but we all know that models behave differently in bull market versus bear market. So that remains to be seen. It's an important disclaimer as always. When markets go up, everyone's the genius. Not 2x the benchmark, but many investors look really good in 23. We do in 24. I hope we will prove our worth even more during 2025 and in the years ahead.
Understood. Then I'd like to ask a very private question because you mentioned the disclaimer. Hope you don't mind. Do you personally invest in the stocks recommended by Propix AI?
So the short answer is yes.
Yeah.
But, and it's an important but, my personal investing strategy is a bit different than Propix AI. I am more of a buy and hold investor. So I like to, purchase stocks and hold them for years. I do use Propix AI to find kind of trading ideas that I later research on my own. And one, I recommend whatever stock picker you're using, always do your own research to make sure that you agree with it, to make sure that this is in line with your risk tolerance and other things. So I do the same here. And for example, one stock I can share that I owned was Super Microcomputers, SMCI.
Yeah.
And that was the top stock for Propix in 2024. Some luck there, right? That this is one I will always, speak about the my best stocks, right? I did more than 100%, etc. I understand some luck is involved, but when I got the recommendation, I researched it, and I would never have even known this stock of Super Microcomputers without having such a strong stock picker next to me, right? I would never have heard of it. And this is what I like about Propix AI. It gives me stocks, and I can find stocks other people can't, whether they're relatively small, like SMCI was a year ago, or some bigger ones that could be, overlooked just because they're not as sexy as other ones, but from an investment opportunity, they provide a lot of upside. So those are kind of the two use cases that I personally use, and SMCI is one stock that I'm happy to share that I bought based on Propix AI recommendation.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. By having AI companion next to us, we have a better chance to have you know, the selected the stock names which worth some researching, right? Because there are more than 5,000, 6,000 stocks in the world, and we do have a limited energy and time. It's impossible to see all, but at least it is recommended by AI, and I believe there's a certain value to go deeper. But so far, many investors just look at the, for example, what hedge funds buy or even YouTuber buys, and they just try to follow their stock investment, the stories. But I think if we have the kind of AI facilities, at least the filtering process is gone, so we can save our time and energy, and that is the most valuable part. You just mentioned the Propix AI has a different basket. For example, you mentioned the Tech Titan and Warren Buffett portfolio, and also value stocks and so on. So among those different strategies, which one would you prefer?
So personally, I like tech stocks. I have been working in tech for a while, so that's kind of what I know in life about business and finance, and I tell myself that I have a little bit of added value in this field as opposed to dividend stocks or other things that I'm not as I don't really have any added value or insight into them.
Mm.
Um, the two other ones, and those are the ones I showed a little bit before. Why don't I share my screen again just so I go over them real quick? The other ones that I often look at are the top value stocks. Well, there's
Mm.
some correlation between tech and value, but for me, if it's intrinsic value and the value investor is a investing theme that I can relate to. And
Mm.
another one, as I mentioned before, is the best of Buffett, meaning we track his list and we kind of try to outdo the Oracle of Omaha. And these things really help me kind of find stocks that I have some natural affinity to. Um, Naturally, anyone can look at, and there are multiple strategies here, as you can see, S&P dominated Dow for people who kind of like the staple, the good old staples, and mid-cap movers, which are smaller. But we are also now coming up with more strategies that are local. So we have that, as you can see here, for Mexico, but we
Mm.
do also have it for many new regions that's coming these days. And I'm happy to announce that we also have it for Korea.
Mm.
So those are also things that are interesting to follow. They just went live, so it's really exciting to get into stuff that is new. I like innovation and I like shiny new things.
Mm.
As with everything in investing, make sure it's right for you, make sure the risk is right for you, and be patient because it's very difficult to build wealth in one day. These things take time, commitment, but it is fun to have something new and localized.
Great, fantastic. I'm sure that many of our audience at the moment are watching this interview to find out some names of stocks recommended by Investingpro AI. Um, could you share a few of your top stock picks from ProPix AI for January 2025? You mentioned that it's changing every month, so we are wondering what kind of stocks were recommended in the beginning of January. And also, would you be able to give us some brief reasons for each selection, if possible?
Right. So as you can see, I'm naturally a pro user, so I get to see the entire list. If you're only a free user, you won't be able to see the current list. I want to show a couple of things. One, in Tech Titans, and I've said this is my favorite. Adobe is here, right? And this is not like a tiny company that no one has heard of and no one knows whether it's here. But one of the things that I like to do once I see one of the companies here, and again, Adobe is such a powerful brand that it immediately catches the eye. All of you knows Photoshop and everything else that they do there. What I like about this selection is one, it seems like a relatively low risk for me. But also when I go and I do my own due diligence using the other Investing Pro features. So you can see here the fair value, which calculates kind of each stock's true value, and then it tells me if it's too expensive or elsewhere. So here we see an upside of, and this is changing in real time, as you can just see, the upside of over 20%. This is for a time horizon of roughly 12 months. And you can see in the pro tips here, the reasons why this is a good investment right now, right? So for example, impressive gross profit margins, certainly a prominent player in the software industry. And this is our AI who's kind of crunching a lot of data into bite-sized insights. What we are adding really soon for each selection of ProPix, so for each stock, you will have an article saying exactly why the algorithm thinks it's a good thing. So it'll kind of be better than this, but it'll also give you the reasons why.
Okay.
So that's one stock that I was really surprised to see here, coming here. As you can see, it's not a low PE ratio there. We were at 35. But obviously, in terms of momentum and where the algorithm thinks, it sees some upside there soon. So a very interesting stock, in my opinion, to buy and see what it does.
Very good. You just mentioned that there will be soon new articles provided for the investors on why each stock is selected. So that kind of information will be also provided in Korean language, right? Because yeah, one of
Right.
the
So
reasons the investing.com is popular in Korea is because it's only one platform, I would say, the big platform providing the information in Korean language.
100%. So even before Investing Pro, our subscription product, Investing.com is a very global company. We have local representative and teams in many places, and we care a lot about localizing not only not only translating but also providing the cultural context of everything we do. So we have people at work, not just um, translating algorithms, and all the reasons why will be in all the languages where we have ProPix. For us, it's really important that if you buy ProPix, it's in your native stock exchange, in your native language, and in your native context of why things happen. And that is coming really soon. The product itself is live, more and kind of better version in terms of like how we explain the choices by the algorithms are coming really soon. And we already have initial data on the success of this. So again, exciting times for us, and everything will be done in Korean. So hopefully that's another big advantage.
I mean, speaking about the local version of investing.com, you just briefly mentioned that you recently launched a Korean version of ProPix AI. Personally, I don't invest in Korean stocks, but some of my subscribers may be interested. Could you provide some information about this new offering?
Yes, of course. So this is in line with us being a very global company and our vision to raise the bar of what's possible for retail investors. I don't want to say it's easy, but since the US is such a dominant market in economics and also in investing, most companies flock. And I was in a company, Seeking Alpha, where they target mostly the US market. And again, this is possibly the best market to work with, but also it's very competitive and kind of excludes most of the world, right? The Western world, Asia, Europe, all of these are kind of excluded from the game. And this is not where we want to be. We want to be able to enable and elevate investors everywhere in the world to find the best stocks for them, whether it's in the US market. Of course, we do that, but also in your local market. And there are many benefits to this. The trading fees, your understanding, your familiarity with the stocks, your ability to do your own research. So we see all of that is coming together with the launch of local ProPix. I will share my screen for a sec.
Yep.
Again, better show than tell.
Sure.
So this is again the ProPix in the Investing Pro. There's ProPix, and here I can start playing on which markets do I want to target. We can also do a focus on a different sector or different. So, for example, if I were to go on growth, you will see here Canadian growth and also Korean growth stocks. Let's go into this one, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
So again, this is the same algorithm. You will see here the language here is in English. I'll switch it in a second. So you guys, you know what? Why don't we do it like this? And let me share. I have it on another screen in Korean, and
Yeah.
so it'll be nicer.
Great.
Okay,
Wow.
so we're seeing it in Korean, right? Just want to make sure that I'm showing the right screen, or is it still in English?
Yeah, it's Korean. Yes, it says
Korean, yes.
Korean growth stocks
Yeah.
opening the future.
What I can show you here again, and this is 1 year, but also includes backtesting because we only went live in December as a quiet launch and just are opening it right now for everyone. But I can look at the last 2 months of data. It's not 2 months, it's 1 month, which is December, and 1 month and half a month of January. And you can see that in the first 2 live months, right? This is not backtest anymore. The AI, the ProPix AI has outperformed the benchmark. Now, as with everything, there are no guarantees for the future. There's always risk in investing in stocks. This is only now starting to gather more and more information about Korea. And there might be some intrinsic volatility in the Korean market. So, as with everything, do not follow this blindly. Have critical thinking. But I think it's really cool as somebody who, at the end of the day, has to sell this, right? And I've sold in the past products that I wasn't sure they're that good, but this is the product I'm really proud in selling because it has the added value of doing something no one has done before. And again, there are some stock pickers in every market. I don't think that they bring the same quality and the same track record that we have with ProPix AI for the past year and a half. All the algorithm, data quality, everything that I spoke about at length before. So it's really fun to do this. I hope you guys find value in investing accordingly. And I hope in the future we also are able to provide strategies that are localized also in more strategic ways, more defensive stocks, and not only growth stocks, which I like. So there will be more options for you. Go into ProPix, look for Korean stocks, and you will be able to see the different strategy that we offer in Korea right now.
Fantastic. I think it's a great value just added because even my subscribers, many of them said, because we just shared our individual performance of 2024 on the one of the videos I uploaded. And many of them said my return in US market was fantastic, but it was not good in Korean market. So I could see that many of my subscribers invest in both markets in Korea and US. And by providing the AI stock recommended in Korean stock markets, I think the members will appreciate this kind of added value into investing.com. It's just a fantastic addition.
Yeah, and also, Charles, I think it's really smart not only to put all your cards in either the Korean market or in the US market, if you can. Always good to do some diversity. You don't have to buy like one stock in every stock exchange, but on Earth, but maybe two or three just to be to reduce kind of the risk of one um, market going really downhill. So I think that's a good thing. And also, there's interesting upside and the ability to find more hidden gems when you look at two markets as opposed to one.
Yeah, I think a diversification is a very important strategy. So if we spread out our money into different markets, there will be a very easy way to distribute our risk of investing. Thank you very much for your time today. Last of all, is there any additional message or information you would like to convey to our subscribers of mijooeun?
One, thank you for being part of this community. And I love retail investors around the world. I do want to show you a glimpse into the future, right? A sneak peek into one more thing that is coming really, really soon. It's already live in beta, so I know that works well for English, but is coming soon in more languages. So for the last time today, I will share my screen.
All right.
And this is our very own AI-powered chat. And this is, you're probably familiar with ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude. I hope your followers use it. They're tremendous tools, but they're not very good in investing because they don't have real-time information. And they tend to invent answers when they don't know what to do. So this is something that we have been working on for almost 2 years now. And you can see here a lot of kind of the quick questions that you have here. So for example, if you wanted to do Visa versus MasterCard on efficiency, you can just click here and Warren will answer it with graphs, with tables, with many things. And the quality of these answers, this is hedge fund level research. This is absolutely great. It is also coming in more languages in a minute. It's now open in English. I do want to say that you don't always have to ask like general questions. You can also ask him more personal questions. For example, can you look at my portfolio for any risky assets, right? Let's see what it says. I haven't done it until now. So it's looking at my watch list. Again, now it asks me, because I have few watch lists, right? It'll ask me which watch list do I want to do, which is already a good sign that those are my, let's go with this one. I don't even remember what's on this watch list. But let's see. So now it will analyze this and it will look at risk factors and other things, and it will come back with an answer. This may take a second.
Sure. Already.
So as you can see, it will give us a list of, and those are all tech stocks. As I mentioned, these are the ones that I follow most closely. And you get here a very detailed answer on why is it true. Again, I'll just go up from the top. It says that the riskiest asset that I'm holding is Palantir, and it gives you why. So here are the key risks. Naturally, with Palantir, a terrific company, it's the valuation, right? Just extremely expensive. And there's heavy reliance on government contracts. This is a company that deals with huge enterprise deals with governments. So certainly those are longer deals and are heavily influenced by incumbent governments and stuff like that. So as you can see, the quality of the answer here is absolutely terrific. And this will help you. So if you were to look at how to invest in the future, you can get kind of a list from Copex AI and then further research it without the need, as you mentioned at the beginning, Charles, to invest 10 hours in it, right? You can just ask the right questions. Inventory, growth, risks, PE ratio, compare it to its peers. There's like absolutely plenty of things that you can do with this. And in the end, if you are more informed, if you have answers to the right questions, you will invest better for your investing strategy. So
Wow.
this is the sneak peek into the future, and this is in the future. In many years into the future, it's already live in beta. Just go to investing.com/Warren AI. And it is coming really soon, as I've said, in multiple languages. I believe this is a very powerful tool, and I hope that you find this not only amazing. Oh, by the way, one more thing.
Yeah.
I'm checking this in real time, so you will have to validate this on your own.
Yeah.
So we already have it in your local language. I don't know. My Korean isn't that good for me to start asking questions, but I can click on one of those, and as you can see, so I was wrong to say this is coming really soon in Korean. It's already live. Look at the URL is kr.investing.com/Warren AI, and you're here. Another way to get to Warren, it's here in the workstation, right? Just click on Warren and it'll be here. For me, it's now in English. If I were to look at any stock, for example, at JP Morgan, so when I click on Warren, all the questions, the queries here will be on JP Morgan. And by clicking here on full screen, you can go and enjoy Warren AI, the full experience. An amazing, amazing feature. Currently in beta, we'd love to hear your input and improve it even further.
Wow. I have to say, it's a really wow. So if you are Investing Pro member, you can use Warren AI without any additional charge, right?
Correct. And even for free users, you don't have to pay anything. You get 5 queries. You can ask 5 questions.
Ah,
And you also have the examples and the templates are free for everyone. Just click on those and you can kind of get a feeling of what it is without the need to pay us one nickel.
wow. To be honest, let's say if I spend 1 hour with the Seeking Alpha, maybe I used to use investing like 15 minutes per day. Because of this Warren AI, I might spend more time with investing.com now. Not just as a investor, but also as a creator. I think I will find a lot of contents I can utilize from this AI helper. So,
100%. I agree. And again, I do want to say Seeking Alpha, a terrific product.
mm,
I have friends there. I'm not the person who kind of downplays other companies. I do feel investing.com is taking off in the quality and the quantity of features that we put out there. And I hope your audience finds lots of value there. There's lots of value for free, lots of value for paying users as well.
yes, indeed. Thank you very much for your invaluable insights and for sharing your expertise with the mijooeun community. I'm very confident that our audience will find today's interview very informative and beneficial for their investment strategy. On behalf of entire mijooeun family, I would like to express my sincere gratitude for your time and contribution today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun. Looking forward to do it again in the future.
Thank you. We wish you and investing.com continued success in 2025.
Thank you very much.
Bye for now. 시청자분들께서는 아직 유튜브 영상 끄지 마시고 잠시만 기다려 주시기 바랍니다. 오늘 인터뷰에 이어서 추가적으로 공유해 드릴 아주 중요한 정보가 있습니다. 인베스팅닷컴 한국 지사에서 마케팅 매니저를 맡고 계신 서성지 매니저님께서 오늘 우리에게 중요한 정보를 전달해 주시기 위해 지금까지 기다리셨습니다. 안녕하세요, 매니저님.
안녕하세요. 반갑습니다.
예, 두 번째로 인사드립니다. 오늘 늦게까지 쉬지도 못하시고 대기하시느라고 고생하셨습니다.
아닙니다. 네. 구독자분들한테 좋은 시간 될 수 있었으면 저는 그걸로 충분합니다. 네.
네. 새해 복 많이 받으시고요. 그동안 잘
네.
지내셨죠?
네, 네. 새해 복 많이 받으세요. 네,
음,
감사합니다.
감사합니다. 오늘 그 미주원 패밀리 분들께 전달해 드릴 중요한 정보가 무엇인지 빨리 듣고 싶습니다.
안녕하세요. 미중 구독자분, 패밀리 여러분. 네, 저희 만나뵙게 돼서 너무 반갑고, 지난번에 저희들 이제 미주님과 함께 했던 영상 이후에 그 특별 프로모션에 너무 많은 분들이 성원을 보내주셔서 저희가 또 감사의 뜻으로 또 한 번 더 최저가 할인을 준비해서 이렇게 찾아왔습니다. 그래서 저희 2주 동안 진행되는 행사고요. 이번에도 어김없이 이제 대한민국에서 최저가로 이제 만나보실 수 있다는 점, 이제 여러분 기억하시고 기간 내에 꼭 참여해 주시면 좋겠습니다. 그리고 한 가지 알려드릴 게 있는데, 이게 앱으로도 많이 사용을 하시잖아요. 그래서 저희 링크를 들어가시면은 이제 앱으로 들어가실 경우에는 이게 할인 코드가 아직 적용이 안 됩니다. 그래서 꼭
음,
PC나 웹 버전으로 해야 되는데, 그래서 제가 그 결제하는 과정에서 쿠폰이 적용됐는지 안 적용됐는지를 화면으로 조금 보여드려도 괜찮을까요?
예, 예, 그렇게 해 주십시오.
이렇게 보시면은 저희 이제 미주님의 랜딩 페이지가 나옵니다. 그 링크 저희 이제 그 유튜브 더보기란에 보시면 링크가 있는데요. 거기 클릭하시면 이제 미주님의 그가 나오는데 여기를 이제 쭉 내려가셔서 여기에서 이제 연간 아니면 2년 뭐 프로 플러스 이 중에서 관심 있는 이제 상품을 클릭을 하시면 됩니다. 일단 이제 가격은 여기 있는 가격은 이제 신경 안 쓰셔도 되고요. 여기에서 뭘 보셔야 되냐면 여기에 이제 코드에 쿠폰이 적용되어 있는지 여기 미주은이라고 돼 있죠. 그리고
예,
반으로 가격이 딱 내려간 걸 보실 수가 있습니다. 그래서
음,
이 부분을 확인을 하신 후에 꼭 결제를 진행을 해주셔야 합니다. 근데 만약에 링크를 클릭을 했는데 이제 쿠폰이 적용이 안 되어 있을 수가 있어요. 가끔 이제
예,
에러가 날 수도 있으니까요. 그럴 때는 여기다가 그냥 미주은 이렇게 적용하기
음,
누르시면 바로 할인이 들어갑니다.
어,
그렇기 때문에 요거 잊지 마시고 요 부분 클릭하셔서 왜냐면 저희가 환불을 해드리긴 하는데 당연히 이제 이런 결제 실수로 화면 환불 진행을 해드리는데 저희 이제 본사 정책상 이제 이런 것들이 좀 시간이 걸리면 얼마나 불편하시겠어요. 이제 들어갔다가 나갔다가
음.
뭐 카드 그러니까 그런 거 꼭 명심하셔가지고 이 부분 신경 써가지고 결제해 주시면 좋겠습니다. 네.
예, 오늘 중요한 정보 감사드립니다. 근데 아까 웹 버전하고 이제 앱을 얘기하셨는데 가입할 때만 웹에서 가입하시고 나중에 사용하실 때는 앱으로도 가능한 거죠?
네, 맞습니다. 네, 가입하실 때만 그렇게 하시고 앱에서도 충분히 플러스 다 이용하실 수 있으니까 이제 가입은 꼭 PC에서 안정적으로 해주시면 좋겠습니다. 네.
예. 예, 그러면 이번에도 50%나 되는 할인을 제공해 주셔서
네,
고맙습니다. 그럼 79,194원에 1년 회원이 되실 수 있는 거다. 이렇게
네,
보시면
네,
되겠죠.
맞습니다. 네,
예,
네,
그리고
맞아요.
오늘 이제 그 아사프님이 설명해 주셨던 한국 시장의 주식을 보는 그 AI 추천 주식, 그리고 또 워렌
네,
AI인가요? 이제 AI
네,
챗봇도
네,
사용하실 수 있는
네,
거죠?
네, 그것도 다 포함됩니다. 이 가격에. 네.
아, 좋습니다. 오늘 너무 반가운 소식 전달해 주셔서 고맙고요. 제가 예전에는 시킨 알파랑 이제 일을 많이 하다가 최근에는 한국에 계신 분들과 협업을 진행하면서 마음이 되게 편합니다. 그래서 이 인베스팅닷컴에는 서성재 매니저님이 계셔서 그 멤버십 가입 과정에 문제가 생기면 바로 또 도와주시고 그래서 제 역할이 얼마나 이제 수월해진지 모르겠습니다. 대신 제가 감사하다는 말씀 이번 기회에 드리고 싶습니다.
입니다. 저희 항상 성원해 주시고 인베스팅 프로 너무 사랑해 주셔서 감사드립니다. 어려운 일 있으시면 항상 저희 이제 문의하기나 이제 연락 주시면은 항상 최선을 다해 도와드리겠습니다. 네.
예, 예. 그러면 2025년에도 미준에서 인베스팅 가입하시는 멤버분들 잘 부탁드립니다. 오늘 밤 늦게까지 기다리시느라고 수고하셨습니다.
아닙니다. 너무 수고 많으셨고요. 네. 올 한 해 꼭 성투하시기를 기원하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
예, 감사합니다, 매니저님.